for the Empower Educators program. This is the name we have given to this program. The idea has started in US after a town hall meeting, and it took some time to, really organize it, but I'm really happy that we can now also definitely kick it off. I have prepared a few slides, which I will share with you just to give you also a bit the embedding, who is doing it, what it has to do with Böhringer and so on. And then we will have more an organizational focus on the program itself. And of course, a very important part is having some discussions, some experiences, some learnings from the teachers themselves, which will help us even to prepare better the single module that we have. And therefore, let me also share my screen. Here we are. We should be somewhere. Oh, wait a second. This is a screen. And then I also add some person. Yes, I can. So, so I hope now you can see the screen. Can you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then I make it just a bit bigger, so then it's easier. Okay. Yeah. Here are some first impressions, even from some colleagues who have been visiting some of our schools. In Kenya, Böhringer Ingelheim and Making More Health have been active since 2019. And one of our first projects was also to build a school, as a very visible, tangible element of the work we have done together with local NGOs. This school, the St. Paul's Kibisi School, is close to Webuye. And of course, also some teachers from our GASP organization will participate. But the teachers in the room during your training and also today are coming from different NGOs we are working with. So before we come to that, maybe very shortly, this is a bit the structure of Making More Health. And there is a non-profit part, the so-called Making More Health part. And then there's a social business, and all the work in Kenya, this work with the communities, with the different NGOs, is the one here which is marked in red. And we are active in Kenya and India with communities. I do not want to talk too much about it, but we are running many different projects with several community members. People could be farmers, fishermen, people living in the slums, but of course also with the teachers, with faith leaders, and most of all with our local NGO leaders who are also somehow giving us the feedback on what is needed. So it is nothing where we say we want to do this. It is more, okay, we also hear from the requests from the ground, and then we find colleagues who volunteer to run such sessions like the Empower Teachers program. Good. Next one, just to give you an idea, we have built, or we are working very closely with 7 NGO centers. And these NGO centers, we call them MMH NGO centers, but of course the NGO centers are owned locally by the NGOs like Solasa, like Core Health and Wells, like GASP. And we have supported them in building up centers. The centers look differently, of course, according to the regions where they are. They are at least 50 kilometers away from each other, mostly in western and central Kenya. But the centers itself collaborate a lot. And this collaboration is a really clear commitment, even to share solutions from one center to another. And for example, when we bring in social entrepreneurial solutions in one center, then we have peer-to-peer trainers or the NGO leaders exchange so that the ideas can be scaled up and scaled through the whole network of the 7 centers. And this network is called System Changer Network. So if I mention the System Changer Network, I mean the whole of the NGOs we are working with under this framework. And of course, we run several, as I said, projects from water solutions and energy solutions, organic farming, animal health projects, hygiene projects, health projects, also youth clubs, teenage mother programs, and so on. What is really, really nice is a direct collaboration through the local NGOs with underserved communities, or as in our program, you will directly now be in contact with the teachers from these communities and helping them, learning from them, collaborating with them, so that what they can then teach to the students helps even our communities at the end, because the students and the teachers are even part of our communities. The communities we are in are vulnerable communities where the income is normally between 1 to 3 euros a day. So it is really underserved communities. Yeah, and then here a few numbers, a few here you find also, and the slides are already on our MS Teams channel. There are some, oh sorry, I have just to let in someone, oops, where it is here. Here you see a bit the names of these NGOs. There is another NGO grant we start to work with. Can you just mention the name of the NGO you are very active with? Grant
Yeah.
is...
Can you hear me okay? Yes. Huruma's home in Kenya is one of the homes that we're working with, one of the NGOs.
Yeah, and you,
Thank
I mean,
you.
just to give you a bit also the connections of Grant and myself, we were in contact. Grant, you have done a lot of things with your NGO, and we thought, why not bringing some teachers even from a different place? So your NGO is not too far from Nairobi, but it is outside of Nairobi. It is not in the city. And
Exactly.
we hope also by connecting different teachers from different locations, it could also be helpful for the teachers as well as for the NGOs. Good. Yeah, here you see again a bit where we are located. Not too important, but the names again fully and with who's the NGO leader. This might play a role when you teach later on and you want to see who are the NGOs. Now let's come really for this Schools for Future program. The Empower Educators program, as we call it, is an initiative where Boehringer employees volunteer to train the teachers, and through the teacher then also the students in Western Kenya. In this first program, we are only working together with teachers, not with students directly. This might be an option afterwards to think about it, but it's also totally fine if we do an update or follow-up of this online program, and that we just continue with teachers, something to be discussed after the program with the teachers on how we can best continue. And as I mentioned, we had also under Making More Health rebuilt a school, which is part of it here, but it is, as I said, not the only school. The St. Paul's Kibisi School, which is a kind of pilot school. So the picture you see here, for example, on the right, is a kind of building, but many schools look like the school picture on top. Yeah, maybe a bit better, maybe even worse. But what you see here, there's very many students in a classroom. The conditions for teaching are really challenging. Yeah, be it concerning the place, be it the space, be it concerning the safety of the building, be it concerning really the materials teachers can use, pin boards or boards. There is no digital means or something like this. Sometimes even chalk is an issue, yeah, a challenge to have enough of it. We have also in our second center at Solasar, so the one in the middle is from GASP, or it's belonging closer to our GASP NGO. We have at Solasar, which is also present in this call. Also there we have built a Making More Health Center. And at this consultation center, now with the help of some other sponsors, we were also able to set up a school, a primary and a professional school. Professional school, for example, for teenage mothers. So we have even teachers from different, grades. Yeah. So teachers who are more working with younger children, or some others working more with young adults or adolescents, teenage mothers. And yeah, both of them have already given us feedback, both schools and also the NGO leaders, that there is normally, for those teachers in those schools, it is an issue when it comes to their own professional education. They lack a lot of money, just you see it even to have and to build up the right school environment. The salaries often are very low, and there is not really a big support in terms of being able to participate in high-level educational development for teachers. So this was the idea from where we started. And what we are now planning is a kind of online program. We will start with 6 to 10 modules. We will define them hopefully a bit during the call. Each of these modules will take 1.5 hours. The participants will be, of course, on our side, Boehringer Ingelheim colleagues, mainly from US, but also from Germany. And then on the other side, we will have teachers. I could imagine that we will have all in all 30 teachers somewhere online in the room. The duration of the program is probably around 6 months. It depends a bit on the number of modules, but we say probably 1 to 2 modules per month. And yeah, here you have a bit also the different program coordinators. In case you have questions, you can always reach out as a trainer to ask some questions. We come to it later on as well. So the idea basically, or the setup, the milestones for this future program, Schools for Future program, is we had a preparation phase. Then we have, let's say, where we are now, a kickoff call with the trainers and local schools. We will get a lot of information from the trainer, from the teachers, but of course also trying to organize now and to give a feedback on the setup, yeah, how it is run, the program. And then after this call today, you can start to prepare your module, your session. And then in one of the next 5 sessions, 5 months, we will have a date that we have to fix where you run your module, your training. As I said, we will have 1 or 2 modules per month. It will be always in the afternoon Kenyan time, because of course the teachers need to teach in the morning, which is then also convenient because we have a huge time difference to US. So for you guys, it will be probably more at 8 o'clock in the morning when you have to run the module. Meanwhile, in Kenya, then it might be around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, so when school is ending, 3 or 4 o'clock, we can still discuss. And at the end, I know that Kenyan people like it a lot. We can also organize a kind of quiz, and certificates will be handed over in terms of questions from your modules where they can answer and where they can a bit also summarize and see what they have learned. We will also organize then in February a call again with you, with all trainers and all teachers, to really gather the feedback and to see whether we continue and how we continue. This is a bit the setup. Good. Next part. Yeah, I think this is clear. This is a bit the time schedule which we have to fill out. I'm not sure if we are able now to really fix the dates today, but it would be a task for the trainers. Once you have your topic, hopefully in this week or next week, you could maybe write in your topic when you could do it and say, okay, I'm the one who could do recognizing disease symptoms such as diabetes or stroke, or I'm more training English sayings and quotes, or I'm more in leadership. So it is important to fill that out so that we get our training schedule really up and running. If we have some more time still this session, then we go back to that. And once this is clear, then myself, my assistant, we will send out Zoom invitations to all teachers. This should happen at least 3 weeks before your module is taking place. As I said, the training session should take place in Kenyan afternoon between 2 and 5 p.m. You decide whether you do your module 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. 3 hours is definitely the maximum. I would personally suggest 2 hours is always good with a small break so that you have also some time for interaction. All trainers should have an intro slide on themselves before they start. Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to know who you are. And as the same as also from the school side, it would be nice if the teachers could very quickly introduce. As we have many teachers, we should not do it longer altogether than 5 minutes, so really very short, but you should know at least who is in the room. Maybe not too many personal information, because otherwise the lessons go and we have not taught anything. Good. Yeah, and after your session, then it would be nice if you could send me or Sandra 10 questions based on your training, and those that we can put together this final quiz. And then we organize also the final quiz and ceremony. Of course, if you are interested with or run by you, this is something we will then still see. Yeah, this is then the evaluation phase. This is how it looks. Maybe some more short things. Good to know is the Kenyan government in the past years is very much interested even to make the lessons more interactive, to emphasize on critical thinking by the students. Sometimes it is still a very frontal type of learning. So when you teach and you use interactive methodologies, it's already also an example that teachers maybe can take, or you also think a bit about some sharing how maybe some specific things could be taught also in such kind of more interactive learning. In terms of technology, yes, many teachers have mobiles. The problem is a bit a constant internet connection. Not every teacher has the money for paying an internet flat. Some schools might have also access to a PC or a laptop, but not everyone has it. So make it not too digital. Don't say go to this platform and from there you can in the internet show this and that to the students, because this will probably not be feasible. Yeah, important is of course also that it fits to the local culture. Make it more simple, not in terms of that you should not explain complex models, but try to make it as simple as possible so that they can also easily take it and also apply it. And what maybe is also important to understand in many schools, what I have seen, but this is something now you can also ask to the teachers, the parents play a role. We have schools where parents are involved, actively involved. In other schools, this might look different, but also important to understand. These are a bit some hints how your module, how your teaching could be. With this, I would say we give now a bit the voice to the teachers themselves, and maybe also very quickly, maybe one or two of our colleagues could say a few words. But I hand over to you now. Maybe one of your, one of your, one of our colleagues maybe can now hand over and just start the conversation with the teachers. Who wants to do that and represent a bit our trainer group? I can name one, but maybe there's also some volunteer. Yeah, I say maybe Marta, do you want to do that?
No, I'd be happy to. Hello, everybody. My name is Martha Brown. I'm really thrilled to be here and to work with you all on this really important initiative. This was a great kickoff call, Manuela. Thank you very much. I do still have a few questions just for clarification. I don't know that this is the right venue to do it because I want to make sure that we use everybody's time effectively. So if you just let me know, but I just wanted to say how appreciative I am of this opportunity.
Thank you, Marta. Someone else from our trainers?
I can go. My name is Dayo. Excuse me, Dayo Hanidu. I'm actually from Nigeria, so this is near and dear to my heart. I see you have programs coming up also in Nigeria and Ghana, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I'm excited for this opportunity to work with the teachers. And I know in Nigeria, when I was growing up, we used to say teachers' reward is in heaven. You guys, your reward is really in heaven, but we're here to like equip you and help you as much as we can to get some reward here too on earth. Okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah, then maybe Cleophas or Lavina, if you're in the room, we can also give you a bit of introduction shortly. Who is with you, Cleophas? And hello to everyone there.
Hello. In the room, we have quite a number of teachers from different schools, representatives. So if we start introducing, it may take time. But I think we have teachers from Kibisi Primary School, not the St. Paul's, but this is Kibisi. We have from Makalo ACK. We have Zoya RC and Marinda. Yes, and Mahanga. Marinda school. So there are 6 schools represented in the room. And of course, we have several others that I think have not joined. We have about 3 secondary schools as well. So in total, about 8 schools that will be participating. So we are very excited with this. I think maybe at some point I will allow some of the teacher representatives just to voice maybe their requests or maybe concerns or how it will flow. But really, we're excited that this can happen, and we really look forward for this. I think as we keep discussing, I know we lost power at some point. We are relying on solar, so our solar with the rains has been a bit unstable. But I think in terms of, this is one center that people will be gathering from different places, but maybe Manuel at some point, should a school have maybe internet connectivity and they want to join from wherever they are, maybe that could also be very welcome, so that many more, as we've discussed with some of the teachers, head teachers, the principals of the schools are willing to participate. So the number may be beyond the 30, for example, from our end, because like just in the room here, we are almost 20 plus.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Claire. I mean, just to be very clear, of course, if the teachers have a good internet connection and can dial in from the school place where they are or from their home, they are very much welcome to do so. So it's no need to have an extra travel now to the NGO place to participate in the online training. We would send out the invitation to you, Cleophas, for example, or to other NGO leaders, and then, of course, you forward it to the teachers as you have the email addresses. And what we think would make sense is a kind of commitment, so that not every and each module we have different teachers in the room. If a teacher cannot make it once or twice, then it's totally fine. But if you really are interested, it would be nice to run at least most of the sessions, and to join, this would be great. Cleophas, because before we come to the teachers, and of course this is the most interesting part, can you explain a bit here to the group how you as a local NGO collaborate with the schools, and in which topics, for example, you collaborate?
So as one of the MMM centers, being based in the rural community, our focus is to really address holistic development. I don't want to go back to what Manuela said, but one of it is in education, and initially informal education, just making people aware of different things. But now with our work in Bakalo ward specifically has allowed us to engage literally with almost all the schools in the area, especially the secondary schools, because one of the programs we are working is supporting teenage mothers, and we've been supporting some of the teenage mothers to get back to schools. And some of the high schools, literally almost 9 high schools in the area have allowed the teenage mothers back to school, where now they sit the exams. And that has provided us opportunity to work with the schools to provide mentorship, to provide conversations around different areas. So life skills, working with the guidance and counseling departments in the schools just to offer students to have basic life skills like self-esteem, issues about leadership. We have engaged some of the learners in the area going through some basic introductory leadership lessons where they can become at least effective leaders. At some point in Kibisi Secondary School, which is nearer here, last year we were allowing some of the learners to come in and do some digital learning at our center, just to have things to have that, like getting digital literacy. We have supported a few of the learners in school. Some of them are joining university this year. At least we are happy that for the last 4 years, we've been supporting about in the ward in different schools. We've had about 50 learners that we have supported through MMH. And so this year, I'm happy several have joined university and colleges through our support through the high school. And so that has built us some good relationship on that. We've also worked to improve some infrastructure in some of the schools where need be. We've worked out like issues like BC Secondary and Marinda. We've been trying to address issues about sanitation through the Green Steps initiative. And so basically we have built a very robust relationship with a lot of the schools, and which we think is very helpful. And because having started a few years ago with the Parent Center, where we tried to introduce children to know and build self-esteem and awareness so that they can be competitive. You know, being in the rural setup, sometimes the opportunities that the learners have, they may not have the access like their counterparts in the urban centers have. So we try to avail those opportunities. And so with that, we are working with all the schools just to see how we can improve, giving in, like Manuela said, some working below €3. Sometimes school fees is challenging. Right now, I think this time a lot of students have been sent home to look for school fees, yet sometimes parents don't. And that has led to a lot of dropouts. So working together, we want to see how we can make sure that school retention happens and that learning happens. So this is a very good opportunity, Empower Educators programs. And if we can empower the teachers, I think that will be good. And like she said, that their bio said, a teacher affects eternity. You never know where the influence stops. So both in school and out of school. So really, this is a very, very welcome initiative. And we, as an organization, we really want to embrace and see how best this can reach many more, so that at the end of the day, the learners also get equal opportunities. And this will be very good. Thanks, Manuela.
Thanks, Claire. So a quick jump to Solasa as well. Here I see also several people in the room. Maybe a few words from your side as well, from Solasa, and what do you do for schools, or how is your relationship, and who's maybe in the room would be nice even to quickly let us know. Someone is coming. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Everyone. Good afternoon, Manuela. Hi.
Hi.
We are Sorasa, and what we do. we don't only teach, but we have programs in our school whereby we support pupils from the street families, as we are based in Langas, which is the second slum in Kenya, whereby we have many street families, and we have taken kids from the street families. First of all, we give them the social skills, like they should know how to greet, they should know how to stay with the people, they should know how to stop stealing, they should know how to dress, because in the streets, they don't do that. Apart from that, we also have the teenage mothers from the streets. We train them in hairdressing. We also give them training on fashion and design. And we have put an impact, though it's not so much, but I'm very proud because this year alone, we have 8 girls, teenage mothers, who have already got employment in the local field, in the local center. They are those ones who trained in hairdressing, those ones who trained in fashion and design. Again, our pupils, as we took them from play group, we started with them in play group. We don't take big boys and girls, because the more they are bigger, the more it's hard for us to elas the things they have learned from the street. Right now, we have pupils who have gone up to grade 3, and we have taught them let's say we have taught them how to write and read, and also we have taught them on other skills like sweeping, picking. Let's say, when I say so, people will just feel like, why are you saying that you have taught them to sweep? In the streets, we don't have them sweeping, we don't have them staying normal. So here we come and start from the basics, training them how to. We have the parent center, and the parent center, we have a teacher in the parent center where they are taught how to board. Even we have their parents coming. Although they are from the street, we try to teach them how to board with their kids. And then later on, we teach these kids how to socialize. And we also teach them how to use like the normal toilets. Like now we have the modern toilets. We teach them so that they become normal and normal pupils.
Thank you so much. And can you shortly explain how many years of basic school education are there? So is it grade 1 to grade 6 that normally the children in the slums go through, or how many years is it?
Okay, we are doing the normal Kenyan education, where the normal Kenyan education is starting from the play group and going up to grade 9. So our school is very much prepared for them going to grade 9. As I said, that we have more kids in grade 3 and very few in grade 4, because we feared to take the bigger ones. So we wanted to take like 7. We started with the bigger boys who are 7. We wanted to relax the naughtiness they had and the rest, but we are aiming at going to grade 9. So our journey is from playgroup to grade 9, although they are from the street. And something else is that due to the incoming generating activity, that we feel that from the street, they don't pay, the parents are not much informed. We get that. We are trying to get other parents from the local area, from where we are trying to ask other parents to join us, and then they'll be paying small amounts of money so that we can sustain even the street kids.
Thank you so much. So a short jump again to GASP. I think I have seen Martin Matula, but there are others as well.
Manuela.
Yeah.
Hello, Manuela.
Hello.
Lavina just sent apologies. She's in another meeting. So
it's totally fine. You can take over. You jump in. So who tells us a bit about GASP? There is a group there.
Yes, we are here. My name is Barak Wandera, and I'm with my colleague here, Godwin Sasita. So we are teachers at a school called St. Andrews. We partner with GAPS, and what we do, we have children, teenage mothers who've actually been brought back to school. So they're going through our school, and we partner in terms of seeing to it that these children are integrated back to school. And then there is also the bit of skill development, which these children or teenage mothers go through in the course of their learning. So outside the school curriculum, they are trained on skill development, on skills such as production, that is cooking, tailoring, and other skills. And we are very happy to be here to listen to more insights. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you tell me, normally you are, as you said, you are a teacher in a school. How many classes, how many hours, and how many students do you teach to?
Outside the students who are supported by GAPSA. So we have, ordinarily in a class, we have about 50 to 60 students per class. The other question, I didn't get it, Manuela.
How many, let's say school starts normally at 8 o'clock and it's 6 lessons per day, or how many lessons per day are there for the students?
Oh, for the students, we have 10 lessons per day.
And each lesson is 45 minutes?
No, 40 minutes.
Okay.
And the lessons run from 8, though we have some extra lessons that come outside the government designated time, which are mostly meant to help students on skills they may not have learned fully. We call them remedial lessons this end, but they are outside what the government designates as teaching time.
Okay, so you as a teacher, what is your status? I mean, you have done your exams, then you have started as a teacher. Where are your personal challenges in teaching? Maybe you can share a bit about that, and this is for you, but of course even other teachers can jump in. And then of course also my trainers here can ask questions. Yeah, but it would be nice if you could start explaining a bit about your situation as a teacher and where are your biggest challenges, where maybe we can help with or support you or give you some extra ideas.
Thank you. Thank you. So one of the areas which I think has been handled and which is a challenge is my school is a mixed school. So being a mixed school, we've had cases, and not really emanating from it being a mixed school, but the environment around it. It's a school next to a small town. So the poverty situation around, especially when it comes to girls, pushes them into the whole concept of teen pregnancy, because they are given gifts here and there, and they would end up in that kind of problem. So part of what we appreciate is that some of these students have been reintegrated back, and we are currently teaching them so that they're given a second shot at life, just like any other student. So that is highly commendable. The other challenge that we are dealing with at present is there is some lack of, I would call it civic education on the side of parents. And see parents be excited about teaching. Even when it comes to government pays some fees. So when it comes to paying minimum fees, one student,
I think we have some
what we call lunch money that is meant for lunch.
Sorry, we can't hear you at the moment, or I can't hear you. I think we have some rains in Kenya.
So I was telling you,
I think there are some connection issues.
Yeah.
Is there a challenge? Can you hear me a moment?
We could not hear the last sentences from you due to some connection issues. Can you maybe repeat?
Manuel, I think.
Yeah, or you take over. If you have a better connection, would be also nice. Sorry for that.
I know there's a lot of storm at the moment at the center. I'm not at the center, I had gone to the field to attend to certain issues, of course, pertaining, of course, what we are just. I know what Malim is saying, what the teacher is saying is actually perfect and true. And I think on top of just what he mentioned, being issues about the teen mothers, we have good relationships with the community. We've built the trust, and the community has really trusted in GASP. And a number of people are coming up, seeking for interventions on what we are doing. However, with this program, it is going to give a better opportunity. This is a great opportunity for the teachers as well to interact through the exchange program. And of course, with this, I think, and I know they will be getting new ideas and new knowledge, which will actually help in the performance of our children as such. There are several programs that we are also doing in relation with GASP. Of course, we have the health, hygiene, and sanitation. And now that we focus majorly as well, apart from the teen mothers, we also have the our people living with albinisms. We've taken a number of them, of our children living with albinisms. We are taking care of them. We're taking them to school, and we keep on moving around the schools that are having our children living with albinisms. This has actually created a good rapport between the organization and the community, because we are helping them actually to be where they are supposed to be. And in line with the skills, of course, we believe that a skill is for development. And that is why, apart from the education sector that we are doing, we're also providing some skill, just like what the teacher mentioned, issues about tailoring, so that apart from the education, as they come back, they're also able to actually do one or two things on their own, so that when they leave school, already they have some skill. And I'm happy that the teen mothers that are being trained by our teachers already are now able to do one or two things. They can now make nice dresses, nice shirts and blouses, and even clothes for their babies, which is a big plus. So that means that after school, now we are reducing the level of dependency and then creating some self-sustainability in them. Of course, with that, a number of people are now coming up, trying actually to embrace what we are doing. So I'm happy with this program, and I know we are going to work it well, and the teachers are happy. There are a number of schools that we actually working closely with. We have the primary schools; those are the lower grades, and even the high schools. Like now, like the teachers we are having at the center are from the nearby, of course, high school, which is a big plus to us. So thank you so much. So I joined a bit late. My name is Chrysanthus Ongulo. I'm the team lead of GASP organization. You're welcome to the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Now we trainers here, we would probably also be interested in go a bit deeper. I mean, if you're a trainer, you want to know where can I help? What could be useful, right? So it would be nice if we could get some voices from the teachers, from the NGO leaders, does not matter. Rosie, you also want to add maybe a question, and yeah, which could help us as a trainer team to prepare the right trainings for you. But Rosie, please jump in.
Thank you again. And I echo my colleagues' earlier comments. This is an exciting opportunity, and I'm happy to be here. One quick question for me to just understand a little bit of the audience. The background from the teachers, can you explain whether what level of training they have received or background that they have, so that we could better perhaps prepare these modules for them?
Yeah, we need to understand a bit also where are the gaps, let's say, or where you want to know more that could help you to do your job in a better way.
Yeah, I think I have quite from all, there are 10 schools here represented, so varied. Maybe I'll ask what a few from the primary to share, and then this high school also to share.
Yeah, maybe we can also give the groups 2-3 minutes so you discuss and then you summarize.
Yes.
Would this help?
Yeah, maybe what we can do is, could we maybe get general questions that then when we come, we can summarize? Like I think what has been asked by Rose is a level of education of the teachers. And then maybe do we discuss about what would be helpful in terms of needs or areas of interest?
Yeah.
Those are two. I don't know whether there's any other that we could focus on.
Maybe we can start with these twos.
Yes.
Not sure if you want to discuss within your group 2 minutes and then maybe summarize a bit.
You can summarize, exactly.
Yeah. Then
yeah,
maybe also at Salasa, at GASP, if you could just discuss quickly what is, let's say, your trainer, your teacher status in terms of background as well. And then the other thing is really, where do you see needs, gaps that we might be able to fill or help you with? Yeah, is it, I'm not sure. I mean, we had a list, but it may be good to hear it from you as well. Yeah. So 2 minutes and then we come back. In the meantime, maybe here with the trainers, is there any, I mean, if we go back to our schedule, the program would officially be launched mid of October. Yeah. Because now, end of September, we have 3 weeks in these communities here full of events. We have a leadership week with 20 managers from Boehringer. We have an activation week with 20 external companies who come with donations, and they help to renovate schools and to set up a teenage shelter house at GASP. And we have a network open day where the government will be coming. Some people from Philips will be there, some international, national representatives to see a bit the work that we do together, with the idea that hopefully we find more partners also can help to sponsor. Boehringer will focus more on health only, but as you see, education and many other things are so important. This means for volunteering programs, online programs, we will continue as Boehringer, but in terms of really giving money for, let's say, purification of water, this will not happen anymore to build further centers. It is now more really to focus on health when it comes to Boehringer projects in the future. Therefore, these volunteering programs are so important. And to start this program, as I said before, it will be very important to now finalize the schedule. Who can do which topics? We might hear now some more topics, but also, of course, what you are able to teach. Feel free to write it into the buckets. Even if it's doubling, then we can still say, okay, maybe do it together, or we do modules on a certain topic. And also, when are your availabilities? Yeah, does November, for example, fit better than, I don't know, October? Just because in October you're on a business trip, then it does not help so much. And Grant, I'm not sure, is there anyone in the call now from your school? You see that? Because maybe it's Salome, yeah? In the school there, in the call.
Oh, do you see anybody from Huruma? Did send a message a bit earlier. I didn't think I heard back, but anybody from Huruma's home on? No, I didn't think so.
Okay, so then I will share. Yeah, I will share with them later on, and they will get the invitations for the direct training sessions, of course. Then, Martha, you have also a question.
I do, thank you. Once we narrow down the different topics, would it be possible to, I don't know if we're the inaugural group or not, to see past modules that were particularly effective?
Of course. Yeah, it depends a bit on how you organize yourselves.
Yeah.
That's why I say it would be nice if you could, on one side, tell a bit your availability in which month, and on the other side, all the topics, if you have 3-4 topics, and then we could see, it's Marta who's interested in leadership skills, and Lucio, and then maybe the two of you could also have a call and decide whether you run 2 sessions then together, and you build the sessions on each other, or how this could work. This is a bit the idea. Yeah. But I like this idea, It makes it also easier. And you see, we have some issues. So normally 2 hours, it's good. And the content might be for 1 hour, because then you have the intro and you have trust building and all these kind of things.
Yeah, I just want to make it as effective as possible. And having kind of a roadmap would be great.
Yeah, this is for sure. Okay, then I will try to get back to them. Okay, so we go back to you, Kohlhauser, Salazar, and Gasp. I hope you are still there. They are mute. Cleo is still discussing. Salazar, are you ready to share a bit your thoughts?
We're not ready yet. Give us a minute. Give us
okay,
a
another minute. Good, yet. Another minute. We can do that. For sure.
Manuela, perhaps really quickly, just as an additional idea, I understand we're not the first cohort. There's been other trainers in the past who have had this experience. Would it be possible to also tap into their experience and see if they have additional tips that they can share with us?
We had no real program for teachers before yours. We had, of course, visits to schools. Yeah, this is what you see also on the pictures during our leadership week, where with the managers we visited, of course, a Making More Health School, or where they interacted with some teachers. But we always got the wish from the teachers, can't we have some volunteer training, online training? But it was never run. We have had in the past 3-4 years several online programs, for example, on digital knowledge or basic business skills for community members. Or actually, we are doing a pig farming online training, for the farmers. So in terms of what are their experiences, how to interact with the community, this could be something, of course, where I can also give you the list, but you find it, by the way, also at the MS Teams channel, where all the other programs are also there. So you feel free just to connect with them and ask.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, but really with the teachers, we have not a lot of, no, we had no program. It was more these kind of visits only.
Thank you.
And I have to say, even that in the past 2 years, even our local NGO started much more to collaborate with the schools, because we see that the schools, the teachers are ambassadors. So if you want to do something for teenage mothers or for street boys, or let's say even children out of poor surroundings, it is the teachers who have a huge influence, like also the faith leaders have a huge influence. And that's why as NGOs now we are working in many ways also with teachers. So the teachers, for example, sometimes some NGOs have also invited, or some teachers will come to our open day, or some teachers have, of course, collaborated when we are running a huge teenage mother program. But this is not so much about educating teenage mothers only, but you have heard some of the thing they are doing. It is also, but this is very specific on teenage mothers. I mean, here what we are trying to do is more teaching at school for these 40, 50, 60 schoolmates in the classes. Yeah. So Salazar, Kohlhauser, just give me a sign when you're ready, or just start to speak.
Okay, in our case.
Yeah, Salazar is there, I think.
One thing we majorly wanted to focus on is mental health among the teachers. Since most of the teachers handle the children from the streets, and they handle also teen mothers. So at times it takes a toll on them. So basically, most of the teachers, as we have discussed here, they just want to know how to handle themselves mentally while dealing with these cases.
Can you
Also,
share a bit with us about your own level of knowledge? I mean, you probably have done your studies to become a teacher. How long is this? Can you describe a bit in general to become a teacher like yours here? What kind of career have you run through so far, and what could be useful to you?
Okay. To me,
Yeah, please.
yes, to me, being a teacher, we have undergone the counseling, but I don't think that we underwent the counseling when we are in college. Those were many years back. And what we were taught that time is not what is there today. We see that with the technology and each and everything that is teaching, we still need more. We still need more teaching when we come to handling the street kids. Because when we are in college, we were not taught how to handle the street families. We were not taught how to handle the teenage mothers. So when it comes to class, we feel that that is a need. And I think that also to other teachers, even the teachers who are there, who are with us today, we feel that their cities is not like long time ago. The technology has brought more new things that are making the people's notes or the children not listen to us.
So this means, if I can just ask, so it means interactive teaching, different methodologies, leadership skills, all these things are very much welcome to get more input models or what is state of the art or how it is done in different countries right now, right?
Yeah, that is it. As you have put it, that's what we would require.
Yeah. In terms of subject skills, would you be also interested, for example, in topics such as unconscious bias, or even, let's say, if we go into mathematics or English or whatever, would you like to know more about the last outcomes or the any new models or artificial intelligence, or what is it exactly? If we talk about subjects now.
Yeah, we need to know.
Okay, with our Kenyan education, Kenyan system of education, the curriculum is changing now and then, whereby you have these materials for teaching, but after a certain time, the curriculum changes to something else. Like currently, we are undergoing the rationalized subjects, and that is rationalized subjects, whereby the subjects have been integrated. And you get that you don't have those materials for teaching, whereby the government is just the government has based on public schools more than private schools, whereby private schools cannot acquire those teaching materials easily.
Yeah, maybe here I have to jump in very shortly, because we have high-level private schools for the rich in Kenya. We are not talking about those ones. Then we have governmental schools. They are very overcrowded. And sometimes students do not even find a place in a governmental school or cannot pay the fees for a governmental school. And then many schools are semi-governmental, with teachers who, of course, stay there, but they have not many financial means, and of course not the support even a governmental teacher has. And this is what she's saying when she talks about private schools. Yeah, these are these private schools who have not a big support in terms of materials, in terms of further education of the teachers, and so on. Yeah, thank you. I hope Cleophas, Chrysanthos, what is the status at your side?
Yeah, we have a representative to share. Yeah. I want to share the level of education of the teachers. I'm Paul Marango, a teacher at Marinda FIM.
in Bungoma North. The level of education varies from one level to another. We have 4 levels here. We have teachers from the primary section. We have teachers from the junior school. We have teachers from the senior secondary. And the level of their education, it varies from certificate to master's degree. Now, for example, the primary school, they have a primary certificate, that is P1 certificate, and some have diplomas and degrees in that primary. Now, in the junior school, we have the teachers have diplomas and degrees, and the senior school, the same diplomas and degrees and even masters. So the level varies from an individual to another, depending on how he or she has advanced in his level of learning. The areas of interest I want to outline, first is the boy child. The center of interest has been majorly been centralized on the culture, and the boy child has been a little bit neglected in the society. So you find that a lot of effort is geared towards a culture, and the boy child education becomes a bit wanting because, as I've said, the effort is being centralized on girl child. Number 2 is about stress management, how they can manage this stress. If included, it will be okay, because the stress varies from parents, learners, and even teachers. So you find that even some teachers may commit suicide because of failure to have their way of managing their stress well. So if included, this stress, if not well managed, can even be projected to learners when giving the content, because a stressed teacher can easily extend the stress to a learner. And also the parents are also stressed because with the hard economic times, some parents are also deeply stressed up. So you find when children are sent home for some levy at school, they extend those tempers to school, to teachers, and even to the learner, and they become even wild. So if the stress is well managed, I think that one can be in order. Number 3 is about drug abuse. So the drugs, most people venture into the drugs because some, as I've said, due to economic hard times, you find that we are in a local community. The NGO is based in a local community, and the schools we are in a local community. So due to lack of that way of getting funds, some go to illicit brews to get some cash, and this one make our learners can easily access these illicit brews, and even smoking of bang, because bang can be sold anyhow because of their hard economic times, so that they can get some cash for sustainability. Number 4, about digital literacy. As these teachers in this locality, the gadgets they use, the network, the service providers, I think because it is part of even in the curriculum design that they should have inclusive of digital literacy. So the problem is even the service providers, the internet, and even the gadgets are not too powerful to sustain the problem with the internet in the locality. So if digital literacy is embraced and included, so that these teachers can be having efficient and enough time to use the digital, the like gadgets, even laptops, even the desktops, so that the learners can be well equipped when they proceed with their pathways. They should not look like they have not gone through the system. Then another point is about health and sanitation. It revolves about the health of these all of us, learners, teachers, and even the parents in the locality, that even some should be shown the way of even improvising if they don't have those advanced toilets, because the way they manage their health becomes wondering, because some even don't have toilets because of the level of poverty. People are too poor in the society. So you may find that even the land they have is not enough even to dig a toilet or a latrine inside that particular land. So they should be taught in a way to manage their hygiene. And if this hygiene and sanitation is included, I think it will improve the level of learning in this locality. Then inclusivity of learners with the difficulties, because the learners vary from one individual to another, their level and their ability. We have some who are slow, some who are very fast. So if all these learners are included, and they can only be included if we have enough and sufficient materials that can make these all learners be included, because of the teacher ratio, the ratio of teacher to learners. Because we teachers, we are deployed by the government, and the government has that mandate of staffing. So you find the number of learners you are managing are beyond. So if we can have ways of making sure that we include these learners, all these learners with the abilities that are low and those who are sharp, so that the human capital is very low. And then another one is about child road safety. If these learners, we embrace the road safety when they go home, because I said earlier, we are in a locality because we have sugarcane around and it's so bushy, so they need to be taught the ways of being safe, when they go home, and even also maintaining the roadsides when they go home. And then lastly, if we can embrace the learner-friendly environment for learning, if the environment can be conducive for learning, if we include it, because not all schools are well equipped. And if we include this, so that the environment becomes friendly, so that they read on the same bar and they feel like they're also like other students, even in urban centers. Thank you.
Thank you. I think, I don't know whether there's anyone to add on that. I think it's summarized for the most. Yeah.
Maybe any additions even from the other centers, from GASP, we did not hear back. Not sure if they can make it at the moment. Or even from Salasa, if you have anything to add or questions from our trainers here. Anything else you want to ask? I hope you have a bit an idea what could be useful. I mean, it is for all of us a bit of test and trying. And then, of course, also we would appreciate very highly the openness, even of the teachers, to tell us this was useful or we need a bit more of that. And even after a module, if you say, hey, let us share a short, quick feedback, this could always be helpful to every one of us to see, okay, this is something which was, or which could be helpful as well. Yeah. Anything to add?
Yes, I think just to add is feel free, this being introductory, it's really ultimately to begin. I know we are from different worlds, let me say, the West and Africa. And some of the classroom setups is like the one Manuela was showing before. So sometimes it is varied, but I guess some of the methodologies are universal. So I would love a scenario where there's kind of like even exchange. How exchange of ideas and knowledge, how is it working from the Kenyan side? How is it working from the American, European side? How does education look from the other side? How does it look like here? And then create kind of a cross-pollination. What values could be passed on? I guess I think the concern has been, how do we pass on more value value-based education as well. I think in a few years ago, the emphasis was on, because most communities were not taking their girls to school. So the focus came a lot on girls. I think in the recent past, there's been more emphasis on girls. And now the reverse is happening on the boy child. I think that was a big conversation here in the room. But basically, how do we create an equitable education structure and also inclusivity? Learners with difficulty or challenges, developmental challenges, and today the government has adopted the inclusive approach. So they don't have like special schools. So how does a think teacher address that? The very slow learner and the very fast learner. Maybe those are some of the things that could be. But for me, it's a very good start point of exchange and interactions as we can move forward. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cleophas. Yeah. Just to see if someone else wants to share, ask. Okay, so first of all, thank you for being with us, yeah, for sharing. It was not so much in terms of times, but I think it was very useful for the trainers from Böhringer to get it. Our next steps definitely will now to be on or to work on the schedule and really to see when we can start the training. We will share it with the local NGOs as soon as possible so that the teachers have also time to organize themselves. As I said, wherever it is possible to dial in, feel free to dial in from your places. That's totally fine. We know the internet connection might be very good at the centers, but if you say I'm somewhere in the town where I have my internet connection, there is no need that you in person come to the centers. It would also be nice if just having the teachers in the room, if you could write down maybe subject topics again and share with us. I mean, I have taken some notes now. We have also recorded the session. But if you say boy-child education would definitely be one topic, drug abuse, digital knowledge. If something else comes up, just send us a list in the next days. I will share here with my trainers as well. And on the trainer side, as I said, we work on a concrete schedule and then we start, yeah, and then we see how things proceed and we see also how it fits on both sides, and let's do it together. Let's start small, grow big, as we always do it, and see where it takes us to. So thank you so much to everyone. I hope it was useful. And then I wait for the feedback. So I summarize it a bit. I send it to my trainers, Cleophas, Chrysanthos, Solasa. If you have additions, let me know, then I can still share it and also upload it. We have one team channel where we have our documents, and based on it, then my colleagues will work out the plan, and then we let you know the invitation and look forward. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm also looking forward to meet some of you in the next weeks in person, and yeah, happy to be back in Kenya soon. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Chris.
Bye-bye.